Good to go now? I know. Need to move the whole thing.
Run into each other business dealings or just turquoise.
Mr. Palliser, did you scare everybody away?
It's July.
Yeah, that's true.
So what's the worst job we can appoint to her? Huh? What's the worst job we can appoint to her?
All jobs are equally good. You don't want that to go on record any other way.
We just get the ghost cameras before nobody's here. Yeah, go. That one there's probably catching just the side of you there. I can go move it. We ready, guys?
I'm sorry?
I just see if everybody was ready.
Oh, yeah.
Get started.
Oh, yeah.
You guys ready? Go ahead and call the USD 49 Board of Education meeting to order for Tuesday, July 5th. First thing I wanted to do before we got started on this was actually to welcome Raj Sharma, the Special Education Cooperative Coordinator, to his first deal, and also John Thyssen, our new superintendent. First meeting here as well. So welcome, guys. Appreciate it. First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Entertain a motion on that.
I would make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Okay, been moved.
Second.
And seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Next item on the agenda is the reorganization of the Board of Education. We will elect a board president, board vice president, board clerk, and board treasurer for the 2016-17 school year.
I would make a motion that Lance President retain board, Lance Bickle retain board president for the 2016-2017 school year.
Second.
Okay. I assume, Bill, that I could go ahead and do this?
Yes.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? I'm assuming I will not vote for this, Bill?
It's up to you.
Well, I just,
You can vote no if you want.
Well, no, I just didn't know if it was a, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Next item is the board vice president.
I would make a motion we entertain or nominate Sarah Rankin. Don't give me those eyes. You'd be good at it.
Okay, we have a
Second.
motion on the table for Sarah Rankin, and we have a second. Any further discussion?
So I was only sure. Okay.
Well, if you're not, it's okay. It's your call. Okay. Okay. Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Next item is the board clerk, keeper of records, and we'll consider the appointment of Sarah Wassinger as the board clerk and keeper of records for the 2016-17 school year, and Marissa Lambert as the deputy clerk per KSA 728202C. A motion for that?
So moved.
Okay. Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Who was the second?
Mr. Waddell. I'll start saying, I should have. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. And finally, the board treasurer. And we will consider the appointment of Renee Booth as the Board of Education treasurer for the 2016-17 school year per KSA 72-8202D.
I would make a motion that we appoint Renee Booth as the Board of Education Treasurer for the 2016-2017 school year.
Been moved by Board Member Oborny,
Second.
seconded by Board Member Rankin. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. All right, next item on the agenda is audience participation. First and only opportunity for the audience to address the board. And since we have so many people sitting in the audience, Craig, you sure you don't have anything to say? All right, we'll move on to the next item, which is report of committees. I don't know, John, if you've received anything as far as any committees or anything? Okay. Next item on the agenda is communications from other organizations. Looks like we have the Hayes Recreation Commission minutes for June 22nd, 2016, which you can go over in the packet. Next item on the agenda is the report of the superintendent. With that, I will turn it over to John and let him go over some things.
Very good. The only report that I have is just to go over, this is the second day on the job. The first day last week, it was quite pleasurable getting to meet, I had 8 meetings on that Thursday. Sarah did a great job of scheduling, and I think about every one was about an hour long. And so I really got to listen a lot and learn a lot in just that one day. Today, a little bit the same. There was 5 meetings, not counting the board meeting this evening. So it has been very, very good getting to have that time with personnel, and also others, some in the community as well, of being able to talk to them and already get an idea as far as some of the concerns and feel from quite a variety of people as far as where Hayes is and where some people think they'd like Hayes to be. And so at this particular point, I feel like I haven't really got to explore the office much at all, except the chair, sitting across from someone else and talking with them. But at this particular point, Sarah's been extremely helpful, and the staff in this facility has been extremely helpful as far as me coming in and feeling welcome right at the beginning here. So hopefully I'll have a few days this week that I can, well, that's not exactly true, because we have a budget meeting on Friday. We're going to Oakley, so 4 of us will be there pretty much all day on Friday as well. So maybe a lot of that will be next week, even as far as getting a little bit more.
Maybe Sarah will go easy on you next week?
Yeah, that's it. She's a taskmaster, that's for sure. So, but it's been a very good first 2 days.
Very good. Thank you, John. Anybody have any questions for John? Anything? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item, financial reports. And Tracy.
We are in the process of closing the books. Should have that done, completed by the end of the week. We have ended the year strong, and we'll have a higher balance in capital outlay than we originally anticipated. I will have that final figure to you guys at the next board meeting. since we finally know what our budget is for next year, I've been working hard on next year's budget, and we'll be bringing information to you guys also at the next meeting, kind of some different changes that might be looking at. I really don't anticipate much difference than this year. Of course, some increased costs and things like that we'll go over, but I will have that information at the next meeting, and then in August, actually presenting the full budget for your approval.
Very good. Any questions for Tracy? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item, which is a big one. The consent agenda. To include the board meeting minutes for June 20th, 2016, the board HNEA negotiation minutes from June 14th, 2016, personnel transactions, the financial reports to include the clerk's report, investment report, and petty cash report, the appointment for the homeless children coordinator, and I believe most of these positions are basically just reappointing the current people in there, except for the superintendent, which will obviously change. The compliance coordinator for federal anti-discrimination laws, including Title 6, 7, and 9, and Section 504. Public information officer, the CAPERS authorized representative and additional signer. The building principals to enforce compulsory school attendance. Title I representative. The federal nutrition services representative. The official district newspaper for publication of school notices. 1,116-hour school calendar for 2016-17. The annual waiver of requirements for generally accepted accounting principles for the 16-17 school year, guidelines for activity funds for the 16-17 school year, the resolution establishing petty cash limits, the resolution to allow for destruction of records, the official depositories for school district funds, the discussion on board attorney, the setting of the annual records fee, the Freedom of Information Officer, signature card approval, the authorization of Commerce Bank to make a payment to Glassman Corporation in the amount of $330,875.37, and the approval of bills in the amount of $377,713.78. I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda with items A through X as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Been moved by Board Member Rankin and seconded by Board Member Adams. Go ahead and open it up for discussion, or give everybody a chance to glance through those for a second if you'd like.
I think I know the answer, but Tracy, the payment to Glassman, that's coming out of capital outlay, correct?
Yes, that is for the Hayes Middle School HVAC system.
Okay.
It's our third payment to them.
Third payment?
Correct.
Okay. And I knew we had planned all that, I like to hear it. So.
And I think one of the questions we had, I think you may have actually even asked it, Sarah, on the public information officer, I'm quite sure, Sarah, you've been doing that already, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't see any other ones on there that were new. Anybody have any other questions or discussion? Okay. Seeing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Next item on the agenda is the certificate of manual signature. And this is basically discussing whether or not to authorize the board president and vice president to have manual signatures for payroll checks and bill payments, which I believe that is the way we are doing them now, is manual. So unless anybody sees any issues or other ones with that, I would assume we'll continue as is. So.
To say you're kind of the one that's been doing it. Do you have any reason you want to change it?
Do we need to vote on that, Bill? Since it's already in place?
Yeah, I'd go ahead.
Okay. We'll go ahead and entertain a motion for the certificate of manual signature to continue as is.
Well, no. I'm sorry, so it is printed currently on the checks?
No, we sign
That's
the
what the-
manual signature.
That's what it's.
I believe the certificate of manual signature is actually allowing the district to use your signature. So I think, is that correct, Bill, that they need to
The
vote?
narrative says.
Oh, I guess I took it as manual, meaning we would sign it, we are signing them. So that's not the way that is?
No, I don't believe so.
This would
Okay.
eliminate the need for manual
Yeah.
signatures.
Okay.
But you can still receive a check register. And I think we talk about this every year.
Yeah, we do. Well, I
We've
think
been
it has to come up for
uncomfortable
vote.
with it
Yeah.
every year.
So this is basically stating it would go to having a stamp on file if we approve this.
Right, so
So I would assume then we would not want to approve it if we want to continue on with the manual signatures. Is that correct, Bill?
Well, Tracy, how they been doing?
We sign everything.
Lance has been signing them personally. Mhm.
By hand.
And I think the reason it comes up every year is because if the board president does change, then he or she would have that option to make that decision on how they'd like to handle it.
Well, I don't think you need a motion not to do it, you just don't have a motion at all.
Okay.
You have a motion to approve it
Okay.
or no motion.
Okay. So I guess we will, unless anybody has a motion to change anything, I guess we will leave it as is. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the Board of Education meeting dates for 2016-17 school year. And I believe Sarah had those last time to kind of give everybody an idea as far as where things were. If there's any additional.
Sarah, I just had a question. I had a calendar invite for September 19th versus the 26th. I think. I was trying to check them. I may have been wrong.
They may have been back-to-back months because of September having Labor Day, perhaps.
But so I just want to make sure this is the one we should be going with.
I'll have to check on that date, Sarah.
Yeah, 'cause
Unless
I-
I looked at it wrong.
I have the 12th and the 16th from the invite she sent
12th
for September.
12th and the 19th.
I'm sorry, the 12th and the 26th.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then maybe
Which is
I
the work session would be the 12th and the board meeting would be the 26th.
Okay, then I must have had something incorrect.
Motion to discuss those?
Probably so, yeah. I would entertain a motion on the Board of Education meeting dates.
The times and location also needs to be mentioned in the motion.
Okay.
We actually have the meeting on the 19th, too, so we may have to change that meeting request. Which is fine.
Maybe. Maybe we're not going to have any meetings next year.
So what do we need a motion for? I wasn't paying.
For the meeting dates for the 2016-17 school year, or year. Meeting dates, location, and
Okay,
times.
I would
for-
make a motion to accept the meeting dates or calendar as presented.
Time and location.
I have to include the time and location.
Just the Tupper boardroom at 6:30 PM on the list of dates on the calendar.
Okay. Adding to it that we would meet at 6:30 PM here in the Tupper board meeting on the dates listed.
Been moved by Board Member Oborny. Seconded by Board Member Lang. Open it up for discussion. Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Next item on the agenda is setting the reimbursement rate for mileage. That will basically be the board motion to approve the mileage reimbursement rate of 54 cents in accordance with board policy GAN. Would entertain a motion.
Move that we approve the mileage reimbursement at 54 cents a mile in accordance with board policy.
Okay, been moved by Board Member Adams,
Second?
seconded by Board Member Rankin. Open it up for discussion. Bill, on this, as far as the mileage rates, is this the one that we adjust, does this also go hand in hand with like when we talked about the busing and that a year or two back, as far as the rates and all that we were paying? Because I actually thought it was
Off the top of my
less,
head, I can't
I thought it was
tell you.
less than 54 cents.
I think it is less, but I'm not sure what
The transportation reimbursement rate is less than 54 cents. I'm not sure offhand what it is.
Okay, so this is a
for-
different.
That's a
For
different-
district
yeah.
staff mileage reimbursement.
Okay, and is the 54 cents a mile, is that based off the state average then?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Any further discussion?
I would just note that last year we actually had changed it to remove the amount from board policy, so we don't have to continue to change the amount that the reimbursement is occurring at.
Okay.
So you're saying our policy GAN no longer states?
It says that we pay out at the state rate, but it does not specify the amount of the rate.
So action is not necessary on this? Because it's the same every year
I guess that's true.
based upon what the state sets.
Now,
Correct.
that would avoid any issues too if the state happened to change their rate at some point.
Okay. Okay, so if that's the case, we don't need to,
Still have a motion second on the floor.
do we need to do anything with the,
You
or withdraw it?
Just withdraw it or do a quick vote and take vote no.
I'll withdraw.
Either
And
way.
need a second. I thought somebody made a second. Maybe we didn't.
Not a second?
Okay.
I did
Okay.
second,
Okay.
but do you?
Withdraw it.
Okay. I second.
Why withdraw?
Okay. Okay. Next item on the agenda is date to schedule the board retreat. And I would assume that'll probably be something we'll have to send out a survey as far as a doodle survey or something, find out schedules and things like that. I don't know if we have any particular times we're shooting for.
Did we do a Saturday morning last year?
Last year we did.
Yeah, but just, I mean, this is separate from the goal setting.
I'm sorry?
With the superintendent. Separate from the goal setting, yeah, the superintendent.
Yeah.
Yes. Right, I just want to. Yes.
Yeah.
You get your twice.
Well, when has it typically been? In July? In August?
Did we do a board retreat last
We
year?
had it, I believe, in August last year.
Yeah, they do.
That was for the goal setting. Did we do it all as one last year? I think we did. I don't remember having two different ones.
No, we didn't, I don't remember doing anything particular.
Oh, was that?
That's what I mean. I
we're
think we just did the goals, the SMART goals and stuff. Yeah, but I don't think we did a retreat.
Well, we called it a retreat.
Both.
Yeah.
It was our retreat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But you know what we didn't do last year is, did we pull in the principals last year, or we decided not to? 2 years ago, we
We did.
had the principals involved, and then last year, I didn't think we did.
August 22nd was noticed on board meeting materials as a board retreat. And that was a Saturday morning at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
What date did you say?
It was set for August 22nd.
Last year.
Last year.
School
Right.
ended.
I know we had Shannon and Mark because we discussed some of the stuff that they were involved with. I don't know on the other ones. Okay, well, that'll be something, like I said, we can send out a poll, kind of see what the schedules fit and go from
Maybe
there.
shoot for similar.
Yeah. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the president appointments for the several different things, and we will go through on those. Any of you who are interested in serving again, I know a couple of you have already reached out, but anybody who is interested in serving again in any of those capacities, let me know, please. And we will go from there.
With me, it's the same as this position.
Early childhood connections?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I should be replaced
Okay.
due to time conflicts.
Okay.
I can't serve them as they best need to be served,
Okay.
but that isn't by no means a reflection of, yeah, they deserve the attention. She does a wonderful job. Need somebody there that can be a little bit more attentive and make, especially more appearances and more function presence.
Okay. Very good.
I reached out to you as well.
Yes. Yep, the ESCA Title I. So, like I said, look through those, and like I said, if anybody else has any interest in some of those other ones we're taking up, like early childhood connections or some of those, please let me know. And,
Some of your meetings, how often?
Required meetings, you're talking once to twice a year. They have an annual audit, annual review, in which the governing body being the board, you have to have a representative, so somebody from the board fills that position. Then there are additional meetings and recognition functions throughout the year. You're talking about a total of probably 10 to 10 to 12. They are during the day typically, anywhere from 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. It's got different time slots, which is extremely difficult, yes.
And we don't have to do it today.
No, I
You can
just-
think about it.
Washington. Yep. We've had a couple in Shanna's office.
Okay. That's fine. I'm interested.
Okay.
Sure. It's
So I can get a little more focus and more.
very interesting, and it's very impressive what they're doing, so
Yeah.
I can't speak highly enough about that program and Donna and everybody else that's involved, so.
But we have.
Thanks, Paul. Okay, next item on the agenda is the student handbooks. Vote on the approval of the Hayes High School Handbook, the Hayes Middle School Handbook, and the Elementary School Handbook. Would entertain
I move to approve the student handbooks.
Okay, been moved by Board Member Waddell, seconded by Board Member Lang. Open it up for discussion. Seeing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Next item on the agenda is discussion by board members and agenda requests.
Yes, I do have one agenda request, I'm sure that's there too. Possibly if, we're still working through the enrollment phase with ESSA, but it would be, I'd like to kind of get a sense of how that's going to impact some of our operations. You know, some of the things like combining Title III, Title I, some of the other reporting requirements to receive that, the total impact of what it may come down to the state. And I don't know if there's much information there, but
Okay.
I think it's going to affect our operations at some level. It'd be good to know about that.
Okay.
As every Student Succeeds Act is replacing the Ag those years. Yeah.
Is Sarah actually hear all this?
Did you hear all that, Sarah?
ESSA requirements?
Yeah, just more about how the Every Student Succeeds Act
Right.
was passed, how that's going to impact the operations, whether it's Title I, Title III, how that may affect us, and what the state is going to impose as a result of that.
Very good.
I think we'll receive something from KSB as well. So KSB might have some updates on it as well.
Okay. Yeah, and I know KSD has the control of a lot of funds, and there's supposed to be flow-through money to the districts to use to address things like STEM education, as well as reading, and so knowing how we could be, a little, just more awareness of how we could be competitive to compete for some of those monies and distribution. So there's supposed to be more coming to the districts as a result of the act.
And there are going to be some meetings in July, end
Great.
of July from the state. So those meetings, they'll discuss more about the
Okay.
impact of that ESE.
Yeah. That'd be great for us to get that here.
Either we can have work session or we can update on that.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Good. Anybody have any other discussion or agenda requests? Okay. And I don't believe we need an executive session tonight.
We need 4 more minutes of meeting time.
You want to keep going for a little bit?
Can we just do 2 more hours for old time's sake?
Do that.
Round it off at 2:30.
Meeting's adjourned. I think that's a record.
That is a record.
Okay, good one.